Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
And this is Kai, and we have another great discussion for you today. The movie of the day is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. It's a fairly new movie. Letterbox shows 2021, but I actually think it came out in 2022. Uh, so spoiler warning.
That's true. Yeah, it is 2020. Yeah, I think it was 2022, but yeah, it's Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And it's done by Dean Fleischer Camp. Is that what
Yeah.
it looks like? Yeah. Uh, but yeah, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I enjoyed this movie a lot actually. So I don't know. This may be a one-sided discussion depending on how Kai liked it, but
No,
I
I enjoyed
really
it.
enjoyed it.
I don't know if I enjoyed it. My rating is different than you. I know I'm jumping the gun on this, but my rating is different than your
I just
rating.
took a
But I
quick
enjoyed
peek at it, and
the We'll
I
get to
think
that
you
later, but
were
yeah.
you tired from work, and you're like, "This is not doing it for me."
No, I don't know. Like I had, as usual, I have notes. I loved the playfulness of the movie, like how the movie was shot and the close-ups and the interaction between Marcel and Dean. Dean is actually he's directing a documentary to a certain
Oh, is that the
extent,
director
and then
too?
he's posting the videos. I think so.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, I think
impressive
so.
if
Let
that's
me
him.
check IMDb. Yeah, let me check
Letterbox
before.
also. You probably do. Um, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it
cool.
wasn't crazy. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I love that. That was super cool. So yeah, the interaction like with Nan, with Marcel. I thought Marcel was a girl, like for at least 45 minutes of the movie until
Well, yeah, until they like reference that Marcel's a he, they said he,
yeah,
but
Nan
it
was
is
like he. I was like,
it
oh,
yeah, it is voiced by Jenny Slate, so um
that's what threw me off too.
yeah.
Because the Jenny Slate, even though she already has a high pitched voice, but then having a high pitched voice uh playing a shell, it's like okay, it sounds like a young lady or adolescent lady. I don't adolescent boy. I don't know. And then they said he, and I was like, oh okay, got it. Marcel's a boy. And then they said Marcelo, and I was like, that makes even more sense. Marcelo, not Marcel.
Yeah, it is, right? It is that's what
Mm-hmm.
Nan, the grandmother figure calls him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I kind of second everything as to like what you just said in terms of like the way it's shot. I like the documentary style where and it's actually a new modern documentary style like what people do nowadays is
yeah,
YouTube and everything.
yeah.
And you can
Mm-hmm.
post up short videos, long videos. Like we put this podcast up on YouTube ourselves and everything. So that is a modern take on a documentary style video. And I liked the interaction kind of going based off that, where it's like Marcel's learning what YouTube is, and then
Yeah, yeah.
like Marcel like made references like that like 38 people like different people watch this. So yeah, it's a very cute movie. This is definitely a movie that like I think any like child would be enthralled by. Where I was like, whoa,
Oh
Shell's
yeah.
talking, and
Like, oh my goodness.
I like the I don't know, it's like it was very homey and everything. Like I think
Yeah.
it's a it's a sad story. Like it's
It's
not
like
a
a coming
sad
of age
story,
story almost.
right? Because it's like and then also you're thinking like how long do these like shelves last? Like how long do they live for? Like how old is Nan compared to Marcel
Oh
and
yeah.
everything? So it was I really enjoyed all that stuff. I like the actually the I'm assuming Marcel is CGI, but I think what was cool about it, and you really,
Yeah, that threw me off.
it doesn't
Yeah.
distract you from it, is that because there's no one like there's no humans interacting with Marcel too
Yeah.
much, so you don't have that divide of like that looks weird because there's a human hand or like something else that can distract you by
You
the
can tell,
CGI and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Because it
so
sometimes it looked like it was practical. Like Marcel was actually practical, but then you look at Marcel's mouth and you're like, okay, this may not be CGI. Like, how did they actually do this? That was something
Yeah,
I kept questioning. Like, is this practical? And they just put in a CGI mouth? Like, how did they do this?
I guess that kind of goes to like if whatever, like I should look into like how it's like made and everything, but I think that would show you the longevity of this movie. Like 10 years from now, you could probably watch it and like you're still probably questioning, is that
Yeah.
CGI or is that a practical show?
How did they do this?
Right.
One thing I
But
really liked,
uh-huh.
I can't say really like, one thing I liked was there was a like, I guess the darker moments, they didn't make the darker moments feel dark. They were still warm and fuzzy. Like Marcel was telling the story of his cousin getting stuck in a pocket and getting thrown into a washing machine.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, that's horrible.
And
But
what does he do? He just
he
stares
like
off
lose,
stares off out
yeah,
the window now or
he got
something.
brain damage or something. And you're just like, that's horrible. But not, I don't feel bad. And then even Nan just like disappeared. And you're just like, okay, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, because that I guess that's a testament to Marcel the character
Yeah.
and the whole embodiment of like, well, things happen
Yeah. It all
and
felt
things.
lighthearted.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's almost like trying to like look at even tough times in a different lens and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
Marcel looks at those things through Marcel's lens, and Marcel's lens is like, yeah, like let's tell the truth, but also the truth can be funny. Truth can be kind of like awe inspiring too. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that is pretty funny. That, especially like another example is the whole like the reason why he loses his family is that the couple that lived there at the
Oh, the
home
freaking
like
sock drawer.
yeah, like that's where they go and hide when like things get rough and everything. And but yeah, even those times when he's like recounting the fights between the spouses and what led to him losing his family, it's like it was dark and dingy and everything in terms
Yeah.
of like there was a storm going on and the boyfriend just left in the middle of the night and stomped off and everything. And so but in Marcel's eyes, it's a horrible memory, but still kind of like it's just a stepping stone in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my notes is it was basically what you just said. Marcel found happiness through like Marcel's family was reconnected through the pain of a former couple.
Right.
Like the fact that the couple had to get back together in order for Marcel the Shell to find his family is sad but also happy.
And even just the remembrance of like, oh, they're fighting, the noise of their
Yeah.
fighting. Like Marcel was able to like immediately remember like that's their
Sock
cue.
drawer. To the shock drawer. And you're like, okay, they're good.
Yeah, and they're all there. What if some of them are like pizzas and everything? I'm like,
Yeah.
what are these things? Like these are
The
other like
craziest
animals.
family members.
And
Like, what?
it's so self-contained until they like leave because Marcel is so like guarded by the house and everything.
Yeah.
And I guess it's also like to the test to him kind of keeping his nan safe too, where it's like
Yeah.
eventually she gets hurt and everything, and it's very sad and everything. And so it kind of like it makes Marcel express things in a certain way, but then that was like a learning experience for Marcel, like to express what they want to express, but you can also have people guide you and say like let's kind of even Marcel's learning in that moment too. And
Yeah.
so it was
Marcel was very adventurous though.
right like I had like the part where he's like throwing up all the time in the car.
That was my favorite part of the movie. Him just barfing and it's just the cutest little dot. And it's like, oh, come on.
And
Like
he's
I
like,
can't
I'm
even be
sorry.
mad. Oops, sorry.
Or just like Marcel's understanding of like so like how is that where the city ends, or like that's where life ends and stuff? He's like, no, that's just the beginning. Like there's a lot. He's like, oh, that seems kind of that's a bummer. I don't know. I really liked it. I think Jenny Slate. I don't know. For me, the only place I kind of pinpoint Jenny Slate in my memory is being
Parks
Mona
and Rec.
Lisa in Parks and
Oh yeah,
Rec. It's like
Pepperstein. Oh
that's
my
the
goodness.
worst character, but I think Jenny Slate was like the perfect choice for that. But then
No, I love
like
Jenny Slate, man.
I like the notion that like Jenny and also the director Dean is I think they like
Yeah.
created the character together.
Oh
And
wow.
so yeah,
Okay.
it's like there's like shorts that came before this, and then they made
Yeah,
like a full
yeah.
fledged movie.
Which is
But
crazy.
right?
I also love Jenny Slate and Big Mouth.
Oh, I haven't watched
Which
Big Mouth too much. I remember Nicholas, our sports
yes.
guest, he used to like, or like I don't know, still does probably watch
No,
Big
him and I
Mouth,
still
but
talking about it. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember.
I
I think
love
you
it.
guys
We
came
both
over to my
love Big
parents'
Mouth.
house and we like put on Big Mouth and stuff.
Yeah, I think we did. Definitely not parent approved, but
Right.
yeah. 30-year-old man is still not parent approved.
Marcel the Shell is very parent approved. I think
Oh yeah,
any
that's
family
child
should
approved
show
too.
this
Yeah.
this movie to anybody.
Oh yeah. I don't so I think the only dislike I have for the movie is it for some reason it felt dragged out.
You think? I think that's probably like the
Yeah,
only
I
thing
don't
I
know
can kind
what
of
it
pinpoint
was.
to.
And I think I would have okay. So my rating, I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterbox.
Mhm.
App we use to track all the movies that we watch and rate the movies we watch. We keep track of all the movies we discuss on this podcast on Letterbox as well. So I gave it a 3, and think I think if I would have put my rating in right as Marcel was leaving the house for the first time, getting in the car to find uh the boyfriend, I think I would have given it a higher score. But I think because I waited till the end of the movie and it was after work, I was tired and I enjoyed it, but I think I gave it that rating because of that. Because I'm like, man, this movie's still not over. It feels like I've been watching it for a while. I gave it a 3 instead of giving it a 4. It probably deserves a 4 for me. I know you think differently.
Well, yeah, I guess it's like that we're in terms of like I can see that as a negative where it's like I don't know. I saw it. Granted, we saw it at different times where it's like I
Mhm.
saw it. I think I saw it on like
Like a
Saturday, on
Saturday,
like
yeah.
a Saturday, and so I had all the time in the world, and we made ourselves some food and everything, and so we relaxed while watching it and stuff. And it I can see where maybe yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of like it's drawn out, but I walked away with this, and I kind of go into my rating right now. I walked away with this as a 5, and
Yeah.
I was like, that was like the rating that like immediately when I was done with the movie, I was like, this is like definitely a 5, because it's like there
Oh
like
wow.
I enjoyed the movie through and through. And I don't know if
Mhm.
it's because I like maybe I'm still a child or something. I don't know. But I really like the Marcel character and everything. I like the whole just like him interacting with the world in such
Yeah.
a kind of like where the beginning where you're just figuring out like how the hell does he feed himself, how the hell does he do random things, like he's walking on the walls with honey and everything. And so
The
he's very
tennis ball is
resourceful. Yeah,
amazing.
the tennis
The
ball.
rover, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and how like he defends himself too, or defends Nan at the end, like sort of like before
Yeah.
like when she gets like sick and everything from the dog, where he like defends himself saying like I don't like this dog and everything, can you let the dog go away? Or when he's like really bothering Nan, he like gets upset. So you kind of see the it's almost like watching Inside Out, for the first time where you're like, well,
Mm,
it's like this is like a good way to kind of show emotions
yeah,
in but that's a true children's flick. I think adults can watch that film and be like, oh yeah, like I know my emotions a little bit better. But
yeah.
Marcel like kind of like tackles like everyday like life like how we do and everything. So it's like you take it slow and you kind of
Learn
convince
as you
yourself
go.
that yeah, you learn as you go. You have other people around you to kind of help you and stuff. And then but but I took it as like, I don't know, I feel like I could have like I could watch a whole another movie of this. And so
But that's
I
the
can read
thing.
books
Like,
probably.
I think, I think if I would have watched, because the funny thing is, we talked about watching it Saturday.
Yeah, that's why I
Like,
was
we
surprised that you
recorded
did.
and we were like, but for some reason, I was like, oh no, he said they may watch it, they may not. So I'm not going to worry about it. And what did I end up watching? I ended up watching Drugstore Cowboy with Matt Dillon. It's like a Gus Van Sant movie. It was good, but I think I should have watched Marcel because like I had that. What should I watch? And I was like, we just talked about Marcel, but I don't know if he's gonna watch it, so I'll save it. And I put on Drugstore Cowboy, and I finished it, and I was like, it was good, but man, I should have watched Marcel. I was like, I'll watch it when they watch it. So I'll end up watching it Monday. So I think I would have given it like I might even bump it up because based on this conversation, I haven't really said anything bad about this movie. I really enjoyed it, but I think how I was feeling after it, I was like, I'm giving this movie a 3, which it should
Yeah,
be a 4.
I can see
It
that
was really good.
I can see that where it's like I don't know. I feel like Marcel was a very good palate cleanser for us. Where I told my girlfriend
Yeah,
Patty, I was like, all right, we have this movie. We had like other movies we wanted to watch. Like I've been wanting to watch this Western movie. I've been wanting to watch and stuff, and this other samurai movie. There's like a lot of movies we want to watch and everything. But
yeah,
Marcel, just like the whole like aspect of like what it like you're just so like enamored by like what is this movie about? It's about a show with shoes on and
yeah,
everything. And so
yeah.
but I feel like it was a good like palate cleanser is like a good way to kind of describe it, but it's nothing to like fall asleep on too, where it's like you're listening to
No,
the
no, no.
story, you're
You're
like
intrigued the whole time.
yeah, so I think it's nothing that like you could put on and be like, oh, I'm just gonna watch it like mindlessly. Like, no, you're gonna put this on and probably just like want to pay attention to it, even though you watched it multiple times and stuff. But
Yeah,
so that's different. That's why it was like different to me, where it was like, this is a movie that I can watch all the time, but it's not a movie that I'm just gonna put on and listen to the background and stuff. I think this is a movie I'll put
no, I would
in,
focus. Yeah,
yeah, and focus and everything. So I think that's why I came out of it differently and stuff. But
gotcha.
granted, it's been awarded a lot of things. I think it's like one of like I think the director themselves also is being recognized as like a up and coming director because of this.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
You know all
but
this backstory about the movie. I'm just sitting there like, I enjoyed it. I don't know
well,
anything
when I logged in
else.
Letterbox, I saw that I was like, why is there more? Like, is this like one of like many? And it was just like, yeah, it's nice that like it's like these like minute long short stories of Marcel, and I think they're voiced by
Yeah,
Jenny Slate and stuff. And but then it like I guess it just blew up to this like big movie, and which is impressive. You go from like a few 1 minute long like shorts, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna do 100 and something minutes,
you go from making TikToks to making a full on movie.
right?
It's like, man,
Like
I'm just gonna make
that's
30 TikToks. Now I'm gonna make 120 TikToks and put it
right.
in a big screen.
But I don't know. It's kind of difficult to like. I can see where it's like if the CGI was like if it was like totally CGI and then like Marcel was like running around on top of the humans and stuff. But no, like it he doesn't stick out. None of the shells stick out. Like the
No.
faces are like the mouth is moving, but like you can tell it's like a drawn mouth that's kind of like moving just like up and down and stuff. But I don't know. It's like it's
Yeah.
hard to like pinpoint something that like is not. done well.
Is it bad that the skating in Marcel the Shell was better than the skating in High Time?
Yes, on and skating on dead skin of like
Oh yeah, that's even worse.
but yeah, like they were all just like skating around. I was like, like little things like that too. It's like, oh, that's so
Yeah.
ingenious. Like that's like the perfect way to like skate.
My quest. Okay. How? So the couple moves out the house. The house is fully furnished still. Did the couple own the house, or were they like renting it through Airbnb like Dean did?
I don't know. It like no, I think they did own the house because isn't that how they found because like when the was it like the news show like kind of like intervened and said like, oh well, if you do an interview with us we'll like look into like possible leads.
You
Didn't
mean
they?
60 Minutes?
Yeah, it was 60 minutes.
Trying to downplay it like it was just some regular
It was a news
news. It was
show,
60 Minutes.
whatever. Something
Just some
crazy.
local news show, KQED, whatever. Like
Yeah.
60 Minutes.
But didn't they like find out that like oh like the management company like oh like this is the person that we talk to all the time like here's the owner isn't the woman that was in that relationship like the
I,
one that like owned it, I
so I
guess.
remember Dean trying to reach out to the property owner. I mean, to the property
So like the
manager,
yeah, right.
and then he got nowhere. But yeah, I think 60 Minutes, because of who they are, that's a local news place. They were able to get more information.
They do what you do. You don't call once, you call twice, and then
Exactly. Like, oh, we're not gonna pick up that first one. I don't know this number.
yeah.
Like, they called again. They
Damn
mean
it, I'll
business.
tell them everything.
But
But I guess so.
yeah, I think you're right.
I guess so. I guess but then like then that's what led to the woman calling the ex-boyfriend. If I don't know. If you're that douchebag ex-boyfriend, won't you be like, no, don't talk to me. Don't show up. Don't do anything. I
Nope.
don't know.
I'm keeping
Yeah.
these shells in my sock drawer, man.
That guy
There's a
probably didn't even
way.
know. He
Oh
was
yeah.
like, he just like, I got what living in my house? In my
You
mom's house?
mean they're everywhere? What? That's what that honey is on the freaking walls?
Right.
Get them out of here. What if you what if you end up renting that Airbnb? And so this is after all the shells go back to the Airbnb. You rent this Airbnb, not knowing anything about the backstory of these shells living there, and you just see shells everywhere. Like, what do you do?
That's when you like, and they're talking to, and then like
Yeah.
everyone's
Hey,
cool about that, I guess,
welcome.
right? Like,
Like,
like where's
no.
Aquaman to tell you to go away? I don't know. I feel like the first thing probably like I'm gonna throw these things away. I did
Oh
not
yeah.
pay for this and everything, but I
I'd be
wonder.
so pissed. I would have sent a
Yeah,
text so fast. Your house is a mess.
it's
There is
infested.
dust all over the table with little toe marks. I don't know how. There's
They
a
should
squirrel in your living room. Like,
they should do
so
like a
many things.
second movie where like they all move into Dean's house, and then you have to like meet whatever girlfriend or
Or
spouse that
wife
he
or whatever.
has,
Yeah.
and then they like go on adventures, and then Marcel's the old Nan type character at the end of it, where it's like, all right, well, like let's here's Marcel times two and everything. You have so many avenues, or Marcel becomes like an investigator into something, or like it's interested on like doing like YouTube tutorials.
No, Marcel makes his own 60 Minutes.
Right there you go.
I
Yo
would actually watch
news.
that. I would watch the hell out of that, actually.
Well, we should be like Jenny Slate and Dean. Please
We
call us,
need it.
and we have ideas.
Here, the first 10 pages written already. Let's go.
Most of them are pictures. But
That's 10 TikToks. You're good. Come on.
yeah. Well, I can ask you, would you purchase this for your
I
home
would.
movie
Yeah,
collection?
I would.
Yeah, it's a very cute movie and everything. It's not like the Christmas Story, where like the Christmas Story, you probably watch it once and it was a very good movie. You probably watch it again next Christmas and stuff.
Yeah,
But this is a movie you can keep putting into your like DVD player or whatever you watch it on and
yeah.
enjoy it,
This one you can just throw on and be like, I just want to smile for an hour. You can
right?
just throw this one on.
And it's not gonna make you cry too.
No.
It's not like the Pixar movies that freaking force you to cry.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I was watching what is it, Soul, out
Oh
in the middle of the
goodness.
park and everything. We wanted to go watch it in the park, and I'm like, I'm not gonna cry in front of all these people.
These people aren't going to see my tears.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
My
the
real
public.
emotions. I can't do that.
No, it seems like every like Pixar now Disney animation movie, they just want to make you cry. Like
Yeah,
I cried in Moana. I almost cried during not Coco, but Encanto. Like it's a bad
right?
situation. I want to enjoy a kids movie, not cry during a kids movie.
Right. Like if you're not crying once, it's not a good kids movie. No, Marcel
Exactly.
told you you can not cry. You can laugh the whole time.
Exactly. Marcel's the new standard.
Yeah, there you go. Like just send this over to Pixar and be like, can you do this again, please?
Fix your stuff.
All right, Kai, any last words?
Watch Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
I think so. I think this is a definite uh recommendation, suggestion. You can watch it anytime you want, and maybe don't watch it on a Monday afternoon after you get off of work, but
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
save it for a Friday or a Saturday night and stuff. Watch it
Yeah,
early. You probably watch two
yeah.
movies.
There you
You like
go.
watch this movie and then you go into like a samurai movie or like a western movie and stuff, or like or vice versa. You watch a samurai movie that's like kind of scary or like has like bunch of fighting and stuff, and then you watch Marcel the Shell
Goodness.
to like drift you off into sleep. But all right, Kat, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we'll be back next week for another one.